All right, Congressman Jim Jordan joins us tonight. And, sir, it's good to have you back on. All right, so the Bidens have brought in $35 million through influence peddling over these past 10, 15 years, selling Joe Biden's power. We know how they were doing it. You say Joe Biden knew about this. He was engaged in this. He benefited from this as well. You're recommending the DOJ prosecute Hunter and James Biden for lying to Congress to basically conceal this scheme and to conceal Joe's part of this scheme.
Yep. Criminal referrals been sent. We think that makes sense, particularly when you look at some of the things that they said during their depositions. Hunter Biden wasn't, we don't think, clear about his involvement with one of the organizations, one of the companies, of the many companies they formed. And we think that they misled us on meetings that took place, that this whole Milken conference, what they were involved in. Hunter Biden said he had no part of that and didn't meet with certain people there. We got other testimony and evidence that suggests that that is just not true. So there are a number of places, and we put this all in our referral, showing where it looks like they weren't straightforward with the Congress, with the committee, and therefore we've sent the criminal referrals.
All right, so they're lying about China. You know, Hunter's lying about the text message to Zhao, where he demanded the millions of dollars that they would get like a week later. James is lying about
Zhao.
Right.
There's another Zhao that was in my phone. You know,
right? Who knows two Zhaos as an American? James Biden is lying about the Bobolinsky meeting with Joe Biden. You know, when Joe was there at the hotel meeting with Tony Bobolinsky, the business partner in China, they took in millions. They laundered it through these shell companies. Now they're lying about it. I mean, doesn't that tell you everything that they want to lie about this story?
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, this whole thing, I was just telling someone this earlier today, their story changes all the time. James Biden's story, Hunter Biden's story, Joe Biden's story, the White House, the David Weiss, who's investigating Hunter Biden, you know, had this long investigation before he's named special counsel. The stories that have never changed are the whistleblowers that came forward and told us what was going on here. So, which sort of prompted all this. Yeah, I mean, a number of times their stories just don't stack up. Again, that's why we sent the criminal referrals.
All right, everybody's hyped on this gun trial for Hunter, which is a ruse, right? I mean, this is the distraction from what Hunter, Jim, and Joe Biden have been doing for the last 15 years. This is, you know, it's effectively like finding the killer's knife at the scene and then going and charging him with trespassing.
Yeah. No, and understand, too, that they wanted a year ago, they tried to get the sweetheart deal through. That's what they really wanted. Yeah. And thank goodness this court, Judge Noriega in Delaware said, I've never seen anything like this. This is not going to fly. Basically got laughed out of court. And the very guy who did all that investigating and then put together 4.5 years investigating and then put together the sweetheart deal, he gets named as the special counsel. So now we have this gun trial going on in Delaware. OK, let's see what happens here. The real concern was, I think, with the Burisma income back in 2014, 2015, where they let the statute of limitations run out.
Yes.
So you can't charge him for what I think is the big concern here. But they do have this gun charge, and there's another tax charge that will happen sometime later out in California.
And right now, we have Peter Navarro sitting in jail right now for simply defying a subpoena from a committee which should have never been given subpoena power in the first place. We have Trump just found guilty of felony counts, 34, because checks that he had signed effectively had the wrong memo line printed on them. If the DOJ ignores this recommendation from the three of you for Hunter and James, I mean, that will again confirm that our entire government, especially the DOJ, has been corrupted by partisanship.
Yeah, this is lawfare. This is the weaponization of government. This is using the law to go after your political opponents. I mean, and example number one, of course, is President Trump. But it's not just President Trump. It's like if you're parents at school board meetings, you need to be investigated. If you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist. But President Trump's the best example. Never forget this, Rob. When Fani Willis opens her investigation in February 2021, but she doesn't bring charges until after President Trump announces he's running for president. Alvin Bragg says, I cannot envision a world where I would prosecute Donald Trump and call Michael Cohen as a witness. And yet he does just that after President Trump announces he's running for president. And of course, the Attorney General of the United States doesn't name Jack Smith as special counsel until 3 days after President Trump announced he was going to run for president. This is all driven by politics, and the primary focus is President Trump, but they'll come after any and all of us as well. That's why this is so dangerous and why we want to get back to equal treatment under the law.